I ask that you off of mute. Now, the first person, I need to know your name. On Zoom, it has iPhone 6S Plus. You can-
Dan Young.
Until they call.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Dan Young Jr.
Dan Young. Okay, Mr. Young, you can put your mic back on mute. First page of the trial docket. Dan Young, okay. He's here. The person that has Motorola One 5G UW Ace, would you please state your name?
Yes, Your Honor, this is Tyler Tatum.
I just saw that. Okay. All right. Mr. Tatum, you can put your mic back on mute. Let's see, we have, I see we have Robert Goff.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Goff, you can put your mic back on mute.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Is that Jason Doyle?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Doyle, you can put your mic back on mute. Here we go. He's on the first page of the announcement docket. That's the attorneys right there. Let me see. Rosendo Gonzalez. Okay, he's on page 1 of the trial docket. Is that Monta Bruno?
Good morning, Your Honor. Monty Bruno. Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Bruno, you can put your mic back on mute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, she's on the second page of the trial docket. Was person that has Satchel's iPhone?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here, Seychelle Lewis.
Seychelle Lewis? Okay,
Yes.
okay, you can put your mic back on mute, Miss Lewis.
Okay.
Oh, she's on the first page of the pretrial destiny. Is that her destiny?
That's LaShawn.
Her? Okay.
Second page trial docket. Okay, she at the top, okay. Okay, I think that's all of the defendants, and I see we have attorneys. We have Mr. Larry Dowden. Mr. Dowden. Okay, he's on the he's on the trial docket. He represents Rosendo Gonzalez. And let's see, we have Keith Ellis, is Chase Ellis.
Yes, we're present, Your Honor.
Okay, did we find out anything on that? Mr. Ellis?
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
gonna- Mr. Ellis, we're gonna do your case first. Mr. Ellis?
Yes, we're present.
Okay. Now, you're currently the attorney of record for Chase Wade Ellis.
Yes, I am.
Now, a question that the court has is, are you currently eligible to practice law in the state of Texas?
Well, I don't know if to say yes or no. What happened is 2 years ago, I had a stroke and I went 2 years without practicing, and my CLEs got behind. we've worked all that out, but it does not show that we worked it out yet on the internet.
Okay, so Mr. Ellis, you're not going to be allowed to represent your son, Mr. Ellis, in this case. Until you, because you're not eligible to practice law in the state of Texas.
Well, I think that'll show that I am just daily, like today or tomorrow, because we've been working on that for the last couple of weeks. But anyway, I'll make sure that's in effect, and I'll contact the court.
Your Honor, if I may, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Maybe a letter of good standing from the state bar, if and when he sorts that out, would suffice.
Okay, could you get a letter of good standing from the state bar?
Yes, I'll try to get that, today or as soon as they get it to me.
Okay,
Because I am in good standings, and like I say, it was a CLE issue whenever I was not practicing for 2 years because of my stroke. Now we've taken care of that, but I'll get a letter of good standing.
okay, state. Well, what we're gonna do right now, I mean, you have your attorney record, but you're not licensed, so we're gonna have to list right now your son as being pro se because he doesn't have a licensed attorney representing him.
Okay, he's present.
Okay, okay, now this case is a 2018 case. And so this case we're gonna have to get this case resolved. Okay, so what we're gonna do, Mr. Chase Ellis.
Yes, sir.
This case is we're gonna reset this case for 30 days.
Okay.
And so you could either, if you're gonna have to have a licensed attorney represent you when this case comes back up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's give him 30 days. Okay, this case is gonna be reset to June 6th of 2022. And I think, and now I'm looking at another issue right now too, Mr. Ellis.
What is that?
I see that you're no, he's on a cash bond. That's my mistake. Don't worry about that. So this case is going to be your Chase Ellis case is going to be reset for 30 days. At that time, Mr. Chase Ellis needs to have a license, or he has an option. He can hire an attorney. He can see if he qualifies for a court-appointed attorney, or he can represent himself. Now, do you understand that, Mr. Ellis?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay.
Yes, he does, Your Honor.
Okay, so on that particular date, in 30 days, you'll let us know what you want to do. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this case is reset for 30 days.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're free to go, and y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next case that we have is cause number 322186. Case is style of State of Texas versus Rosendo de Jesus Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Gonzalez, how are you doing?
Good morning, Judge. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing fine. And Mr. Gonzalez, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Larry Dowden. Mr. Dowden, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, and I hope the court's doing well also.
Yeah, the court's doing well. Thanks for asking.
Great.
Now, Mr. Dowden,
Yes,
what
sir.
is this case is on the court's trial docket.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Dustin Galmore is actually lead counsel in the case, and I understand from a text from him this morning and that he's picking a jury in federal court, Judge.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The state has filed a motion.
Yeah, okay. And the state is, give me a copy of that. the state has filed a motion for continuance. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
I thought,
I believe I did.
let me see.
There are a lot of
322-186.
I believe we filed one in each Gallimore case.
We have a lot of motions.
Gallimore has quite a few cases on trial.
This- Oh, I have it. Well, I have water. I don't. Okay, now, Mr. Dowden, the
Yes,
state
sir.
has filed an unopposed motion for continuance. In this case, and the court is going to grant that motion.
Yes, sir.
This case is going to be reset on the trial docket. Give us the date. It's going to be reset to June 13 of 2022. Mr. Dowden, your reset will be sent to you. And Mr. Gonzalez, your attorney and your bondsman will get a copy of your reset. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Mr. Gonzalez, you are free to go. And Mr. Dowden, is this your only case?
Yes, sir, it is, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go as well. Mr. Dowden, you have a blessed day. And Mr. Gonzalez, you have a blessed day.
Thanks, Judge. You too. Good to see
Thank you,
you.
you too.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the paperwork. Yeah, but you have the paperwork. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with this thing. It's not even accepting my password. Oh, no wonder. CC first. Yeah. There we go. Court is in session and calls number 330468. The case is style of state of Texas versus Caden Miguel Bellinger. Bellinger. Mr. Bellinger, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Bellinger, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sir.
Okay, Mr. Bellinger, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Bellinger?
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Bellinger, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Christopher Sacitano. Attorney Sacitano, how are you doing?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And the state is represented by Attorney Blake Ham. Attorney Ham, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you, Your Honor.
That's good. Now, Mr. Bellinger, I have before me a document that has been filed by the District Attorney's Office. This document is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about June 13th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Bellinger, do you understand? Oops. Do you understand? Thank you. Mr. Bellinger, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Bellinger, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bellinger, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Bellinger, there are a set of initials, CB, on a line that is next to a box that's checked nola contingere, which means no contest.
Yes,
Are
sir.
these your initials?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, Mr. Bellinger, there's a signature above the line that is titled, that's titled Defendant. Mr. Bellinger, do you recognize this signature? Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, Mr. Bellinger, this document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Mr. Bellinger, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bellinger, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Bellinger, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Bellinger, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1 and State's Exhibit number 2. The probable cause affidavit. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections, Mr. Sales Channel?
No objection.
No objection. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Bellinger, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sanchitano, you have advised and counseled Mr. Bellinger. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? Mr. Bellinger, your attorney, Mr. Sanchitano, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bellinger, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 1 year deferred probation, 24 hours of community service, DWI education classes, drug and alcohol assessment, and interlock device.
There's no fine.
No, Your Honor.
State is waiving the fine. Okay, now, okay, this offense was occurred on June 13th, 2021. So that's after September 1st of 2019. Now, Mr. Bellinger, do you have a regular driver's license or do you have a CD, commercial driver's license?
It's a regular driver's license.
Okay, and what was his, did they do a blood test?
They did a blood test, Judge. That was one of the issues that was assigned.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm looking for. It's a 0.139.
Okay, that's, so it's below 0.15. Okay, so he's eligible for deferred. That was the reason why I asked the question. Now, Mr. Bellinger. Let me write this in. Whose phone? You can't have a phone on in the courtroom. Okay. Okay, Mr. Bellinger, The state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. The state is waiving the fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs of $422. Mr. Boudreaux, would you please be quiet? Yes, sir. Okay. Also, you'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and you'll be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Now, should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you would have to pay each month while you are on probation, is $115. Mr. Bellinger, will you be able to pay the $115 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 24 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, have a drug and alcohol assessment, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you want to operate. And as I mentioned earlier, attend and complete a DWI education class and have a alcohol and drug assessment, and the fine is waived. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Bellinger, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
Do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Bellinger, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Bellinger, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney. Let me do this. Also, Mr. Bellinger, because this is a deferred adjudicated probation, if you successfully complete your deferred adjudication, this case will be dismissed. It will not appear as a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. And you can talk to your attorney, Mr. Sacitano, about the non-disclosure. He's quite competent in those matters. Also, pursuant to Article 42A.108, on violation of the condition of deferred adjudication supervision imposed under Article 42A.104, the defendant may be arrested, detained as provided by in Article 42A.751, and the defendant is entitled to a hearing limited to the determination by the court of whether the court will proceed with an adjudication of guilt on the original charge. The court may not proceed with an adjudication of guilt on the original charge if the court finds that the only evidence supporting the alleged violation of a condition of deferred adjudicated probation is the uncorroborated results of a polygraph examination. The determination to proceed with an adjudication of guilt on the original charge is reviewable in the same manner as a revocation hearing conducted under 42A.751D in a case in which the adjudication of guilt was not deferred. Now, Mr. Bellinger, you can stand on the X next to your attorney. You're gonna follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, I'm here at the District Court in Jasper County. Can I jump in here and do my announcements real quick so I can get into the courtroom?
Well, we got a couple of things going on, and so what
Okay.
we'll do you next in line, but right now they're handling something else, and so in the meantime, Okay, the court is now in session and calls number 327810. Case is style of State of Texas versus Ivory Darrell Milton. Mr. Milton, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Milton?
I'm doing all right. Yeah.
I'm doing fine. Mr. Milton, you're here represented by your attorney, Antoine Freeman. Attorney Freeman, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor.
I see here he was supposed to pay restitution.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Milton had to deal with an eviction. He had paid some money to get an apartment. It happened like 2 weeks ago. So we asked for a reset to get that money again.
Okay, what's his state?
We'll defer to the court on that, Your Honor. I will say this, that it looks like that arrangement was reached back in August of 2021. Right, am I incorrect?
I don't know. I talked to the other prosecutor.
Quiet, please.
I don't know, but we were supposed to pay that money. As he said, things happen. We need another reset.
Oh, well, but the state made the offer. I mean, is the state's offer still, it's the offer. I mean,
The offer, the state is willing to leave the offer on the table if the court is inclined to grant another.
I mean, I'll grant a recess if the state is inclined to keep the offer open.
And we are, Your Honor, or at least one other sentence.
Okay. Now, Mr. Milton, this has been going on for a while. I understand that we're in the pandemic and everything, but this case is I guess the offer was made almost a year ago, look like. Well, it's not quite, it's gonna be in August, I guess, would have been a year, but would be a year. How much time do you need?
I just had the money, Your Honor, but something popped up and I had no choice but to pay them $1,600. So, I mean, as long as I got enough time to pay, I mean, maybe 3 months, and I have it.
3 months?
Or 2. It wouldn't take long at all if I was back doing what I do. Because I'm a combo welder and I normally make $1,500 to $2,000 a week. But I'm not doing that right now. I'm currently paying other stuff in order to get back into.
How much is the restitution? Do we know?
Looks like, according to the notes from the previous prosecutor, Your Honor, $3,005.08. I would like to point out, Your Honor, that there is an alternative rec in the file as well if the defendant is unable to pay the restitution.
Wow. I already got 1,500. I just need the other 1,500.
So you're halfway there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When can you get the 1,500?
I also like to point out, he tried to pay half of the last time he was here.
Yeah, but it has to be full.
I mean, but he tried to pay half.
I know, but the policy is you gotta have full, they don't take.
Well, I understand that, but it's not like he did not try to pay it.
Okay.
I mean, take that into consideration.
Well, I mean, that's taken into consideration. I'm just trying to figure out how much time he needs. Okay, we're gonna do 60 days. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna do 60 days. Now, okay, we're gonna reset this case. Give us a reset. Now, this is gonna be the final reset for him to pay restitution on this one. What is it? June 20th? June 20th, 2022. Yeah, I see that okay. Mr. Milton, your case is gonna be reset to June 20 to 2022. Your attorney's gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And is this your only case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go as well, Jeffrey. Mr. Macy has been here for a while. Mr. Macy, you ready on your case?
My case is on the trial, not just,
Yes.
I'm not entirely sure he's here. Is he here?
Let's see, we're gonna,
Where are you gonna call?
Yeah, it's Kevin Banks. It's on the trial docket.
My note says that the last time we were here, he was going and he went into surgery that day. I don't know if that, like I said, I don't know if he's here or not.
That's him. Okay. Mr. Banks, would you come forward? Okay, the court is in session and cause number 328674. This case is on the third page of the trial docket. The defendant's name is Kevin A. Banks. Mr. Banks, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Banks?
Doing okay.
That's good. I understand that you had surgery last time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see that you made a full recovery.
Mhm.
Well, that's a blessing.
Thank
Now, you're welcome. Now, Mr. Banks, you're here represented by your attorney John Macy. Attorney Macy, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Your Honor. Thanks for asking.
Now, Mr. Macy, what is your announcement in Mr. Banks' case? His case is on the trial docket.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Y'all announce ready? State?
Ready, Judge.
Okay. Now, Mr. Banks, just go have a seat in the hallway. We're gonna call your case back again. You're on the trial docket. We'll give you the trial order. Tina, when?
She's right here, Judge. We're asking to be placed on the plea docket. It's gonna be worked out. There's just a couple things that she and I need to take care of.
Okay, Miss Nguyen, come forward. Now, this is cause number 326460, case of style Tina Nguyen. Ms. Nguyen, how are you doing? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And Mr. Allen, you want this case placed on the, you said the plea docket?
Yes, Judge, about a month.
30 days, okay. Okay, this case is gonna be reset June 13th of 2022. Ms. Nguyen, your attorney is gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right, and you have a blessed day as well, Mr. Parker.
Thank you, Judge.
Earl Phelps,
Your Honor, we're working on I haven't gotten this paperwork.
oh, y'all working a plea? Okay, just hold up on him.
It's here. Okay. I just, there are others I'm working on. I'm gonna get to you as soon as I can.
Okay, hold on, I was trying to get to Mr. Hall.
Your Honor, I need to run another court.
That's fine.
briefly. I'll be right back.
Okay. Israel Cervantes on the announcement docket, page 4. Mr. Hall. Court is in session and calls number 330-510. Case is style of State of Texas versus Israel Cervantes. Mr. Cervantes, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Cervantes?
Good, how about
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Cervantes, you're represented here by your attorney, Attorney Willard Hall. Attorney Hall, how are you doing?
Great, thank you.
That's good. Mr. Hall, what is your announcement in Mr. Cervantes' case?
Your Honor, last week I wrote a letter for pretrial diversion to prosecutor. Have not heard back yet. I checked with him this morning. He doesn't have anything down about it yet. We do have a backup plea bargain offer that we can take if he's not accepted. Could I ask, does anyone know when the next pretrial diversion contract signing is? Anybody know?
June. It's in June, first week of June, because they just had one in April and they skip a month. It's every other month. So you want to reset it after that date?
If you don't mind, Your Honor, we'll
Okay.
know something for sure.
Give us a date in the
Middle of January.
middle of June. June 20th? That's right. Okay, this case is gonna be reset June 20th. Mr. Cervantes, stay in contact with your attorney. Your attorney's gonna give your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, he's gonna sign for your reset. You'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Hall, is this your only case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next case is Derek Bro. Derek Wayne Bro.
He's supposed to be outside, Judge.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thanks. Court is in session and cause number 329938. Case is style of State of Texas versus Derek Wayne Bro. We have Mr. Bro present in court. Mr. Bro, is that your full name, Derek Wayne Bro?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Bro?
Okay.
That's good. Mr. Bro, you're represented here by your attorney, Attorney Don Boudreaux. Mr. Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine, sir.
That's good. Now, Mr. Boudreaux, what is your announcement in Mr. Bro's case?
I think, Your Honor, it may be able to be worked out without a trial. May we hold that for a little while?
Okay, I'll
and
hold.
double Check with the DA.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Bro, just go have a seat back out in the hallway. Your attorney is gonna talk to the prosecutor, so your case is gonna be on hold. Bobby Nace. It's on page 2 of the bottom of the announcement docket. Bobby Nace. Court is in session and calls number 329470. Case is style the State of Texas versus Bobby Lee Nace III. Mr. Nace, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Nace?
All right.
That's good. Mr. Nace, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Thomas Roebuck. Attorney Roebuck, how are you doing?
Fine, Your Honor. Thanks for asking.
Attorney Roebuck, what is your announcement in Mr. Nate's case?
We're in the midst of negotiations. I'm not exactly sure where we are. You want to reset or?
Your Honor, if we could put this case on recall, I think we're very close to working. this
Just
case
hold it?
out. Just hold it, put it
Okay.
on recall. I need to check something through our computer system. I just haven't had a
Okay.
chance to do that.
That's fine.
And if it is what is being represented to me by defense counsel, I think we may very well work
Resolve
it
it?
out.
Okay. All right. Mr. Nates, just go have a seat back in the hall, and then your case will be on hold. We'll call it back again. Joshua Lyle Atterbury. Joshua, oh, he's here.
Do you have the discovery certification? Oh, okay. I did.
I got it.
Okay, okay.
Go ahead. Okay.
Should be, okay.
Court is in session in two cases. First case is cause number 328-400. Second case is cause number 328-402. All two cases are style of State of Texas versus Joshua Lyle Atterbury. Mr. Atterbury, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Atterbury?
I'll just find you.
Oh, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Atterbury, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Atterbury, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Atterbury, you may put your hand down. Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay. Now, okay, we're back on the record in cause number 328-400, state of Texas versus Joshua Lau Atterbury. Looking at the docket sheet and the judgment. On the docket sheet, Mr. Atterbury in cause number 328-400 is charged with harassment, family violence. On the information, he's charged with harassment. And the information does not read in the body of the information, it doesn't have any family violence language. So he's charged with harassment.
Yeah, this is.
I mean-
And so long as the information in cause number 328-402 is assault, family violence, the state will abandon the family violence enhancement in the first cause. And just go.
There's no, that's my point is there's no family violence enhancement.
Okay.
So I think that they're gonna have to get in the computer and change the code, right? No, isn't that what y'all have to do?
Or enhance-
Because it comes out on the judgment as a harassment, family violence. I think we've had this problem before, so it's a coding issue. It's gonna take some time to do, because she has to contact the clerk's office, they're gonna contact the DA's office. And it may take,
Which is it, 400?
it's 400, right?
Okay.
It's, yeah, 328-400. Yeah, so what we're gonna have to do is figure, I guess you're gonna call downstairs? Yeah. So we're gonna have to hold off on doing the plea right now until they make the correction. Because the judgment comes out, harassment, family violence, and that's a,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna have to just hold off on it. We'll get you back up. You have a couple other people
Yes, sir.
that we can go ahead on and do those. We'll call you back up.
Video game. Old school. Motion for continuance on my. I got a motion for continuance.
Okay, Mr. Vasquez, would you come forward? This is cause number 316910. The case is style of state of Texas versus Luigi Vasquez. Mr. Vasquez, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Vasquez? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Vasquez, you're here represented by your attorney, Rife Kimler. Attorney Kimler, how are you doing?
All right.
Okay, the state is represented by attorney Tommy Coleman. Attorney Coleman, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Kimler, what is your announcement in Mr. Vasquez's case?
Ready.
State.
The state has filed a motion for continuance. The arresting officer, Kim Hargrove, is pregnant, and I understand the child is due anytime now, any day now. We filed a continuance on last Friday. if I'm not mistaken.
Could I get that continuance on that, Luigi Vasquez? This cause number 316910. Mr. Kimler, you have any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Vasquez, your case is going to be reset. Give us a reset date. Hold on, you said that she,
It needs to be reset till sometime after mid-August.
right, yeah,
We can get a long reset, Judge.
Right.
Preferably after August, maybe the first part of September.
September?
Yes, the first part of September, perhaps, Judge.
I don't know. Put it in mid-August then, because I know Labor Day is.
They said after August.
I know, September, put it in mid-September, excuse me,
September 12th.
September 12th, okay. This case is gonna be reset to September 12th of 2022. Mr. Vasquez, your attorney is gonna sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Sign on the 4X. And I'm signing the continuance. Here you go. Oh, hold on a minute, Mr. Melanie Abshire. That's Mr. Ham's case. This is on the trial docket, page 3. Melanie Abshire. Okay, the court is in session and calls number 327940-2. The case is style of state of Texas versus Melanie Kristen Abshire. Ms. Abshire, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Ms. Abshire?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Abshire. You're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Wright Kimmerly. Attorney Kimmerly, what is your announcement? This case is on the trial docket. State.
One moment. The state has filed a motion to continue because Detective
Pull that.
Scott Thompson,
Pull out of the case. 327-940-2. I need that motion.
Detective Thompson of the Fort Neches Police Department is not available this week. He's a necessary material witness in the case.
Mr. Kimberly, you have any objections to the case? Okay. Okay, Ms. Abshire, what is the order? This is.
It could be true.
Okay, Ms. Abshire, your case is going to be reset, going to be continued. Your attorney is going to sign for your reset on the Forex. Please, you can stand on the Forex. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Bailey, could you please get Rachel Primo? That's Mr. Coleman's case. I think that's yours.
Yes.
Primo.
Sorry, we'd asked it.
This is cause number 329142. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Rachel Marie Primo. Ms. Primo, is that your full name? How you doing, Ms. Primo?
Yeah.
That's good. Ms. Primo, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Wright Kimler. Ms. Kimler, Ms. Primo's case is on the trial docket. What is your announcement in Ms. Primo's case? State.
Your Honor, the state has filed a motion for continuance. The basis for that continuance is,
You
as
got
the
it.
court is well aware, I just landed here in Jefferson County a week ago. I've prepped 3 cases for trial on this trial docket. I had a total of 18 cases on this trial docket. So long and short of it is, this is a drug case that has a lab techs. I would ask the court for continuance in order to properly prepare.
Okay. Mr. Kimley, you have any objections?
Well, Your Honor, I wouldn't want to put Mr. Coleman in a bad spot, so I suppose this time we can be opposed.
Okay, when the court, the policy is to usually grant the first continuance. Okay.
We want to take advantage of it.
Very gracious of you, Mr. King.
I try to do my
Okay, Ms. Primo, your case is going to be reset. Your attorney is going to sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's this, Your Honor?
Alyssa Sanchez.
This one.
Hmm? Yeah, it says, Ralph Kimbler. Next case is cause number 329942. Case is style of state of Texas versus Alyssa Sanchez. Ms. Sanchez, is that your full name?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Sanchez, how are you doing? That's good. Ms. Sanchez, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Wright Kimler. And this case is on the trial docket. Mr. Kimler, what is your announcement?
Ready.
State.
Ready, Judge.
Ready. Okay, Ms. Sanchez, you can have a seat and we'll call back. We'll get back with you on the trial order. Primo, we did did we do primo?
She's reset.
Okay. That was the state had continued in that one. Garbo. Looks like that's, we did, Welty is in as a whole, he's in 252nd. That's like, that's all your case off the trial docket. Now you have any cases on any other docket? Check. Okay, we're going to the announcement docket. Caitlin Moore. Mr. Paget.
He should be here. Should be right outside.
Okay, that sounds good.
There's one more issue I want to talk to you about. Very easy. It's easy to read. I'll see your time.
Court is in session and calls number 329-784, case of style of state of Texas versus Caitlin Moore. Mr. Moore, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Mr. Moore, you're represented by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
Mr. Paget, Mr. Moore's case is on the court's announcement docket. What is your announcement in Mr. Moore's
Will
case?
ask to be placed on your plea docket, Your Honor.
Okay, give us how much time you need?
Just the court's regular reset will be fine.
May 16th.
Sounds good.
Okay, this case is going to be reset to May 16th. Mr. Moore, your attorney is going to sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Mr. Paget, that's your only case?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Well,
I had a few down there.
Yeah, okay. You have a blessed day. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Did Mr. Smith? Mr. Rennie?
Yeah.
That's Phillips. Y'all have the piece of paperwork signed? Okay. Yeah. Earl Phelps. Yeah, this case is on our pretrial conference docket, page 2. Trying to find it. What is it? There it is. Okay. Court is back in session and calls number 329621. Case is styled the state of Texas. Good job. Hold it down. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Earl Allen Phelps Jr. Mr. Phelps, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Phelps?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Phelps, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Phelps, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Phelps, you may put your hand down. Mr. Phelps, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Scott Rennick. Attorney Rennick, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you.
A second. Mr. Phelps, I have before me a document that has been filed by the District Attorney's Office. This document is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about March 20th of 2021, while you are operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, Mr. Phelps, the enhancement paragraph alleges that prior to the commission of the aforesaid offense, that you, the said Earl Allen Phelps Jr., on December 11th, 2013, in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, in cause number 299840, the defendant was convicted of the misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, and the said conviction became final prior to the commission of the aforesaid offense, which means that it was prior to the commission of this offense. Mr. Phelps, is that true? And to the charge of Class A misdemeanor, driving while intoxicated, second, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Okay, Mr. Phelps, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Quiet, please. On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I'm asked, quiet, please. Right.
Okay. The initials on this line, the initials are, is that EAP? And are these your initials? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is that your signature? On the next document, Mr. Phelps. Uh-oh. Hold on a minute, lost it. Okay. It lost it for a minute. Okay, on the next document, Mr. Phelps, this document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? Mr. Phelps, is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that? Mr. Phelps, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Phelps, can you speak up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Phelps, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Phelps, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer States 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
Objection, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Rennick, you've advised and counseled Mr. Phelps. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Phelps, your attorney, Mr. Rennick, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Phelps, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 180 days in jail, probated over a term of 2 years, a $1,000 fine, 100 hours of community service, completion of the DWI repeat offender classes, drug and alcohol assessments, the interlock device, and Mr. Phelps is to report for 72 hours in jail today.
Your Honor, we did request that he did turn himself in at 6 o'clock tonight, so he can coordinate with his work.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's usually turning on it before 6 p.m. Okay. Okay, Mr. Phelps, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, this 180 days will be probated for a period of 2 years. During the 2-year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $422. You'll also be required to you'll be required to pay $60 each month in probation fees. You'll be required to pay a $15 each month urinalysis fee. You'll be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class an initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $140 per month. Will you be able to pay the $140 each month? You will be required to perform 100 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, and have a drug and alcohol assessment. You'll be required to attend the DWI intervention, is that the repeat?
Yes, sir, that's my understanding.
It's my understanding.
Okay, so you're gonna be required to attend and complete the DWI intervention class, okay? And you'll be required to install a DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. And you'll be required to serve 72 hours in the Jefferson County Jail. They should have had the day of start. Starting today at or before 6 p.m.
Yes, sir.
It's on a commitment.
Oh, okay. Okay. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Phelps, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Phelps, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Phelps, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney. Once you're gonna follow the recommendations of our clerk. Once you finish following her recommendations, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Have your probation papers, or when you turn yourself in this evening, make sure you give them this paper, this commitment, and the one on the back is your copy, okay? So they have to have that when you check yourself in, okay? You're welcome.
Okay, court is in session and cause number 329596, case is style of state of Texas versus Melvin Ray Palmer. Mr. Palmer, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Palmer? That's good. Mr. Palmer, you're represented by your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson. Mr. Wilkerson, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Wilkerson, Mr. Palmer's case is on the court's announcement docket. What is your announcement?
Your Honor, there's a companion case.
See a felony
Yes, Your Honor, and we've entered a cap plea on that case. and
set for
it's-
May 16th.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want this
And-
on the same day?
Yes, Your Honor, that's what we would request.
Okay, we're gonna reset this case to May 16 along with his felony case. Okay, Mr. Palmer, Mr. Wilkerson is gonna sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And this is your only case. Oh, okay, Mr. Wilkerson has another.
He's in jail, Judge.
Oh, okay, I see that. All right. Now, Ms. Wilkerson, you can sign for Mr. Palmer's reset.
Thank you. Judge.
And this is the only cases that you have.
Yes, Your
You'll be
Honor.
free to go. You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Okay, court is in session in two cases, cause number 328-400 and cause number 328-402. Both cases are styled state of Texas versus Joshua Lyle Atterbury.
If he right back, went about 10 minutes ago, he went on to his truck to get something.
Oh, okay. We'll come
I
back
just
to it.
texted him, so hurry up.
Okay. Joseph Tardy.
Your Honor, I'm working on the paperwork, Mr. Tardy.
Okay, we'll hold on that. Hold on a minute, let me get the, Calmore West. Jason, well, let's see. Got Mr. Reynolds.
Your Honor.
Yeah, hold on a minute, sir. I was looking for Mr. Reynolds. Okay. Darrington. Gregory Carrington. Is this the only one, Mr. Reynolds?
It is, Judge.
Court is in session and cause number 329546, case is style of state of Texas versus Gregory Carrington. Mr. Carrington, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Carrington?
I'm okay, so.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Carrington, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge.
Mr. Reynolds, what is your announcement in Mr. Carrington's case?
Judge, if you give us a minute, I think we're gonna enter a plea.
Oh, okay.
You put us on recall, please.
Okay, we will. All right. Y'all can have a seat. Jason Dahl.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I wasn't aware that I would.
Hold on, Mr.
Yes,
Dahl,
sir.
hold on a minute. I was waiting for the prosecutor. Okay, the court is in session and cause number 324022, case of South State of Texas versus Jason Lynn Dahl. Mr. Dahl, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
How are you doing, Mr. Doyle?
Oh, I'm okay, man. I'm having difficulty being there this morning. I was unaware I would have to appear in person, and I'm having to wait for my wife so she can drive me down there. I don't have a license or anything. I'm in LaPorte.
Well,
I apologize.
Y'all was set to plea today? Okay, well, he's, okay, so y'all wanna, okay, Mr. Doyle, you're represented here by your attorney, Alvin Samuel.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Samuel, what is your announcement in Mr. Doyle's case?
Your Honor, we'd like to have this placed on the plea docket.
Okay, give us a 30, the standard 30 day.
Yes.
Okay, give us a reset 30 days. 6/13. Okay, it's gonna be reset for 6/13. Mr. Doyle, you can get your, Mr. Alvin Samuel, you could get your reset. I think this is your only case. Do you?
I'm so sorry, and thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, your case is gonna be reset to June 11th, excuse me, June 13th.
That's fine. I do have one other case. but,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be reset for June 13th of 2022. Your attorney will be given a copy of your reset. Stay in contact with your attorney. You are free to go. Mr. Dahl, thanks for being patient with us, and you have a blessed day.
You as well, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Andrea Denise Robinson, Andrea Robinson. Would you please call Andrea Robinson? Oh, no, she's in jail. She don't have to be here. You want to reset with the felony? She's
yeah,
set
sure.
today in criminal district court.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so to be reset with the felony, you can get your resets. You'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. You also.
Okay. We're ready on Atterbury. Is Mr. Atterbury back? Yeah.
He's on his way, Judge.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just go to another one. Okay. Let's see who we have. Nice. Oh, we ready on, what we doing on Nace?
We're ready, Judge.
Okay. Back in session at clause number. Do you have a paperwork on Nace?
You are the judge. It's maybe we added to that paperwork.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Court is in session in cause number 329470, cases filed the state of Texas versus Bobby Lee Nace III. I have present Mr. Bobby Lee Nace III. Is that your correct name?
Sir.
Mr. Nace, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Nace, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Do.
Mr. Nace, you may put your hand down. Mr. Nace, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
That's good. Mr. Nace, you're represented here by your attorney, Attorney Thomas Roebuck. Attorney Roebuck, how are you doing?
Good, thank you, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Nace, I have before me a document that's titled Information. This document has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This document alleges that on or about March 16th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with a alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Nace, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Nace, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nace, I have before me a document. Oh. You checked the wrong block. It's supposed to be a Class A.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, at the top. Okay. Now, Mr. Nace, I have before me let's see, a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit No. 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Nace, there are a set of initials on a line that's checked nolo contingere, which means no contest. Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
On the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is that your signature at the top?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, this document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Nace, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nace, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nace, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me States Exhibits 1 and 2. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
State offers both states 1 and 2. Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. States 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Roebuck, you advised in counsel, Mr. Nace, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Nace, your attorney, Mr. Roebuck, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nace, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest in this case, Your Honor, we're asking that the court order the defendant confined for a period of 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, that we're asking that the court suspend the imposition of that jail sentence, place the defendant on community supervision for a period of 12 months, order that he pay a $600 fine, that he perform 40 hours community service, that he submit to and comply with the standard conditions of probation to include completing a DWI course and also a DWI a drug and alcohol assessment, along with the imposition of the ignition interlock, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Nace. The state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you're not required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because this jail time will be probated for 12 months. During the 12-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $600 plus court costs of $422, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $1,022. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class an initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, the total monthly installments, bless you, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay while you're on probation is $170 each month. Mr. Nace, will you be able to pay the $170 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, have a drug and alcohol assessment. You'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, and you'll also be required to adhere to the standard terms of your probation. Mr. Nace, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nace, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Nace, this will conclude your case. You're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
I'll get your right off there. Lift it up.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Tyler Tatum.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Tatum.
Signature pad right here. You sign for me.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah, the state has filed motions to continue.
But before you go there, we had a cash loan. You know the clerk talking to us. just give that to them and they'll give you the cash on, okay?
Okay, this is cause numbers 324437 and cause number 324865. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Tyler James Tatum. Now, Mr. Tatum is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Tatum, how are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for being patient with us, Mr. Tatum. Now, Mr. Tatum, your attorney in your cases is Dustin Galmore. Mr. Galmore is currently in a federal trial. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. That is my,
Okay, and he has, the state has filed motions for continuances in your case. And apparently these are agreed motion for continuance. Is that correct?
yes, Your Honor. Unopposed.
It's unopposed. And so therefore, Mr. Tatum, your cases are going to be reset. Stay in contact with your attorney, Mr. Galmore, because he will be given, do we have, okay, your case is going to be reset to June 13th of 2022. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. They'll be given notice of the resets. Mr. Tatum, thanks for being patient with us this morning. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Monta Bruno.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Bruno, you're represented by your attorney, Dustin Galmore, and cause numbers 324754 and cause number 324756. Ms. Bruno, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, and you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Ms. Bruno, you're represented by Dustin Galmore. Mr. Galmore is currently in federal court.
Yes, sir.
He has trials in federal court, and state, you file motions in this case as well.
Yes, Your Honor. The state has filed unopposed motions for continuance.
And Ms. Bruno, the state has filed unopposed motions for continuances in your case, and what that basically means is your case is, the court is going to grant those motions. Your cases will be reset. When? Okay. Your case is going to be reset to June 13th of 2022. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You'll be free to go. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you, Your Honor.
And thanks for being patient with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Robert Goff.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Court is in session in cause numbers 327450, cause number 331290. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Robert Adam Goff. Mr. Goff, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Goff?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Goff, your attorney is Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore is currently in trial in federal court, and state, you file motions to continue in these cases as well?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's filed unopposed motions to continue after consulting with Mr. Galvin.
Okay, the state has filed unopposed motions for your cases to be continued, Mr. Goff. The court is going to sign those motions, and that simply means, Mr. Goff, is that your case is going to be reset. Could you give us a reset date?
This is
Rob, 6/30, okay. Your case is going to be reset to June 13th of 2022. Mr. Goff, stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. They will be given notice of your reset dates. You're free to go. Thanks for being patient with us, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You too, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
We already do Daniel. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm still signing these motions.
Yes, sir.
Did I circle granted on that? Yeah. Mr. Gilmore?
No, he's got about 4 more.
Where?
On the,
Oh, okay, I see it. Tyler Connor. We have a Tyler Connor. Mr. Bales, would you please call the name of Tyler Connor? I'm on the trial docket. It's on page 1. Okay, thank you. Daniel Young.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this is cause number 321-944, case of style of state of Texas versus Daniel Henry Young Jr. Mr. Young, is that your full name?
That is.
How are you doing, Mr. Young?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Young, you have another case, cause number 326544. In that case, I don't see that you're represented by Mr. Dustin Galmore. However, you are represented by Attorney Dustin Galmore in in cause number 321944.
Your Honor, he actually has 2 other cases. 330092.
Okay.
Same situation.
Okay, and you also have cause number 330092, and you're not. I don't see that you're represented by Attorney Dustin Galmore in that case either.
I have financially paid him, and we're going forward with everything. It took me a little while to pay him off for all 3 of them, but I have paid him in all 3 processes.
Do we have letters of rep on any one of the last 2 cases? Okay, we're gonna check to see if he sent in his letter of reps. Dan Young or Daniel Young. Yeah. You got anything? Look at. You have motion.
Yes, Your Honor, the state has filed a motion in case number 321944, unopposed motion to continue. Did not file motions in the other cases because they indicated on the docket they were not set for trial and he was unrepresented.
Oh, okay. Okay, now, Mr. Young, your first case, cause number 321944. That's the case that you're represented by Attorney Dustin Galmore. The state has filed an unopposed motion for continuance. That motion will be granted. And give us a reset date. 6/13/2022. Now that's going to be reset to June 13 of 2022. Now, Mr. Young, your other 2 cases, cause number 326544 and cause number 330092. Those cases, we're going to reset those 2 cases as well on the same date. And we'll give Mr. Galmore an opportunity to get his letters of rep in on those 2 cases. Stay in contact with Mr. Galmore and your bondsman. They will be given notice of your reset dates. Mr. Young, thanks for being patient with us. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Judge, I apologize to interrupt. This is Charles McIntosh.
Yes.
I'm at the jail and I have to go meet a client for the criminal district court before noon, so I'm going to have to get off. But I have a client, Anthony Woodcock, on the announcement docket today that I filed a motion to withdraw on. The court should have the motion and the order.
Could you pull up that motion? Would you please call Anthony Woodcock?
He's not there, Judge. He can appear either via Zoom or over the phone. I have
Okay.
his phone number.
Okay. Hold on a minute.